Trust me, you do not want to miss this one. Coming up in this episode, I mount, review and shoot HIKMICRO's Panther PQ50L on the farm on the Foxes. Plus, we have a competition to surpass all others. This is Team Foxer. Straight in the top of the head. Hey guys, how are we doing? I hope you're all well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Now in this episode we're going to be taking a closer look at HIKMICRO's PQ50L thermal rifle scope. If you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that pre-Christmas I was lucky enough to have the Thunder on test on the Foxim rifle, and I got some great footage with that. It's a scope I was incredibly impressed with, and if you want to see a full review video on the Thunder HIKMICRO rifle scope, that's this video playing over my shoulder, then simply follow the link in this video's description. On to the Panther unit. In this video we'll see how easy the scope is to mount on the rifle, take a quick look at some of the key features, and we'll take it out foxing just to see what it performs like in the field. Please make sure you stay tuned in this video and keep your ears pinned back though, because I have a giveaway that surpasses anything I've been able to do on the channel before. Trust me, you do not want to miss this one. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you that came up to me at the Great British Shooting Show last weekend to express your gratitude at the content that the channel produces. It was incredibly humbling to meet so many nice, genuine people. I'm absolutely terrible with names, otherwise I'd like to be able to reel off a list. But do you know what, guys? You really did make my weekend, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without people just like you continuously watching the content, and without the sponsors, the channel simply wouldn't be where it is today. Olight, incidentally, a good sponsor of this channel and producer of some of the world's best torches or flashlights. If you're in America, are having a flash sale on the 27th of February on a range of products, including the massively impressive small Baton 3. Now, the Baton 3 is one of my favourite torches for a host of reasons, and this is just a couple of them. When I reviewed this torch some time ago, I said it was probably the best little torch I'd ever used in the world. The Baton 3 is the upgraded version of Olight's popular S1R Baton 2. Equipped with a high-performance LED and TIR lens for a soft balanced beam, this extremely compact light delivers an incredible maximum beam of 1200 lumens with a throw of 166 meters. So if you are in the market for a world-class torch, or if you're a fan of the Baton 3 just like me, then head over to Olight's page on the 27th of Feb and see what bargains you can pick up. So the PQ50 Panther then, what's it all about? For those of you wanting a more detailed rundown of the technical specifications, then please check out the details in this video's description. The way in which the Panther is mounted is exactly the same as the Thunder. You use this simple one-piece mount with the supplied Allen key bolts and Allen key. It's designed to fit straight onto a weaver rail, and once you've got it in a suitable position, you can hand tighten it up and then just use an adjustable torque wrench or spanner. You can see straight away that the Panther unit looks very similar to the Thunder. However, the most noticeable difference is the fact that the buttons have disappeared on top and been replaced with this. This is the actual laser rangefinder that you get with the PQ50. One of the other differences is that this one runs on 18650 batteries, so you actually get two of these with the unit, along with a pretty good night core charger. So you get two batteries and the charger, as well as the couple of USB cables and the lens cloth. The other noticeable difference is that the buttons are no longer on top, they're now on the side. Starting from front to back, you've got the built-in lens cap to protect the lens, focus ring to actually focus the image, the power button which turns long press to turn it off or long press to actually turn it on. When the unit's on, you can dab it once and it will go into standby mode, dab it again and it soon wakes up. This here is to activate the laser rangefinder or ping the laser rangefinder. And then you've got the menu button here, so a long press will actually activate the menu, and then you can scroll through the various different options using these buttons here, and then press it to enter and a long press to exit the menu. If you push these two buttons in together, the unit will start recording, and then simply push these two buttons to stop recording. At the back, the ocular lens is focused using this ring here to make sure that the picture is nicely in focus. The latest firmware update means that you now have freeze frame one-shot zeroing. I started off at 50 yards before moving back to 100 and found it very easy using the zoom to be able to get a nice crisp picture. Here you can see Rick retrieving the box there at the 100 yard marker. There are 4 different colour palettes to choose from on the Panther, as they were on the Thunder: Black Hot, this Fusion colour, Red Hot, White Hot, but my favourite has to be Black Hot. There is also, as you can see on screen now, picture in picture mode for those of you wanting to see a wide field of view with a zoomed in image. So that's a rundown of some of the key features and benefits of those features on the Panther unit itself. Let's get out into the field and actually see what it's like taking on the Charlies. Although the Griffin has a slightly better battery system than the Thunder, I'm still here using my external power bank. I have though upgraded to a shorter USB-C cable, a right-angled one from the Team Fox or Amazon shop, and that then plugs into my power bank, allowing me a good 10 hours worth of use without the need to change battery. I get myself in position, put a couple of mouth squeaks out using the best Foxcall reed mouth caller, and spot with the Griffin spotter, the GQ35. I don't have to wait too long before Fox number 1 is in sight. He's currently sat a good 200 yards away on the dike side, but is very much interested in the call and actually comes into around 120 plus yards for me to be able to very comfortably take the shot. Fox number 2 that evening was not hanging about. I think, to be honest, I was busy looking over to my right at what I thought was a fox coming in from a good way off, and this one had actually come in, had time to observe and realise something wasn't up, so he was on his toes. Luckily for me, and on the way home now, much later as you can see by the clock there, Fox number 3, once he finally emerged from the trees, knowing something was up but not necessarily getting any further away, eventually stopped once it cleared the back of the house way off in the distance, and I was able to put this one down at 138 yards. Certainly a very convincing kill shot, that one. Now this clip here is courtesy of none other than Mr. Mark Ripley from the awesome YouTube channel 260 Rips. I'm sure most of you do not need an introduction to Mark. He's a very accomplished shooter and well-known figure in the shooting industry. But Mark has actually tested this very scope out before me and left plenty of footage on it, and has allowed me to include this clip in with this montage. You can see here Mark favours the white hot setting, and he's also running the picture in picture, and he's got a different crosshair. This fox though, very tricky indeed, because when it does come into range it's way too near the livestock, and by the time it then moves off, clearly it senses that something's not quite right. Although Mark does use the fox's old trick of the little oi to get it to stop, and very swiftly dispatches it. So thank you very much to Mark Ripley for letting me use this clip, and that was indeed a fantastic shot. Well done. Now, reed callers and lip squeaking are very effective methods of calling in foxes at the right time, but so too are electronic callers, and I find that sometimes you can call them in from great distances with that extra volume. As we exited the recent mating season, myself and Rick were out here, I think this was still in December, so I'm actually still using the Thunder rifle scope here, which has got the same resolution and screen capabilities here as the Panther. But you can see here I'm on the rifle, and Rick's actually recording this using the Griffin GQ35L range finding spotter. So that's the image you can see there in the bottom left. This fox here stops. As I take the shot, you can see bits fly off of it as I nail it in the top of the head at 137 yards. I also had this other clip lying around, so I thought I would include this one here as well. So I'm just lip squeaking this one here. So just a gentle to get the fox's attention as it slowly makes his way towards my location across the field. I'm stood up using sticks. The fox pauses, I mag up to 4x zoom, take the shot, and down he goes. Right guys, who would like to win themselves a rather fantastic prize? It's giveaway time! So how would you like to win a HIKMICRO thermal rifle scope? Now that's got your attention, hasn't it? Yes, courtesy of HIKMICRO, one lucky Team Foxer viewer will actually be winning this very Thunder rifle scope, the one used in this video and I've used successfully to take out many critters. This is a fantastic piece of kit and a total prize fund of just over £3,000. So listen up, and this is exactly how you could be in with a chance of winning this awesome prize. All you need to do to be in with a chance of winning this very rifle scope, head over to the Hike Facebook page, and I'll put a link to that in the video's description, and make sure you're following that, and then comment down below in this video, hashtag HIKMICRO PQ50L. You can see those words on screen now, and tell me exactly why you should be picked to win my Thunder rifle scope. Now there is unfortunately one main clause or stipulation to this prize. It has to be a UK mainland prize winner. So by all means you can tell me why you would like to win it if you live overseas, but unfortunately I won't be able to post it, or ideally I would like to be able to hand this rifle scope over to the lucky winner in person. So it is only open for UK residents. However, this prize fund is worth over £3,000, and I don't know too many shooting platform channels that are able to offer such an amazing prize, so make sure you share this one with your friends. So what do I like most then about the HIKMICRO Panther? Well, very clearly it's incredibly handy having that laser rangefinder. Though I did find myself when out and about, because I was using the Griffin spotter primarily, and that also has a rangefinder built in, I was kind of spotting the foxes coming in, pinging them to see what the ranges was on the spotter. So I didn't necessarily use the rangefinder a great deal at all in the field, though without question it's a very neat feature to have. The image quality is incredibly sharp, just the same as it is on the Thunder, and that's thanks to the 640 by 512 12 micron sensor that's inside the unit. The sub 35 millikelvin capabilities in the Panther mean that it's able to detect the slightest differences in temperature, and what that means is in the field is that for example I filmed a hare, I think it was around 65-70 meters almost, but you could actually see which parts of the hare's coat offered the best thermal insulation, and that's the true mark of a good quality thermal product. And the other good thing is it will give you that image detail in some of the harshest conditions. So even if it's quite misty or foggy, or the humidity is high, and those are the probably conditions where they're not thermal's best friends, but that sub 35 millikelvin sensor means it's able to still show you that detail even in the harshest of conditions. The unit's base mag at 2.6 times optical equivalent essentially means that you've got a really good field of view. It's not too zoomed in that makes the image crap, but it gives you a great field of view, and I very seldom had to go above 4 times zoom to know that I was perfectly comfortable shooting foxes at 170 yards without having to exceed that zoom. and by not having to go all the way up on the zoom, it means that the image is still nice and crisp. And the AMOLED eyepiece, or the OLED eyepiece in here, the Super AMOLED eyepiece, is incredibly sharp. It doesn't really do it justice when you blow the image up onto your TV screens or sometimes on your phones, because trust me, the image in this eyepiece is really very crisp indeed. And I know that lots of the feedback from the show was one mostly of amazement at just how clear and how precise this image is. The picture-in-picture feature of the scope is handy, but it isn't something I personally use. For those of you that want a nice field of view and a zoomed in image at the same time, and I love the way you can actually move it from left to centre or to the right hand screen, that will favour some people, I'm sure. Personally, I like to shoot without it because I don't want the screen in the eyepiece to be too busy. I just want to focus on the crosshair and the target. But I can certainly see it has its big benefits too. Well, thanks ever so much for watching, guys, and your continued support. Don't forget to go ahead over and check Olight's page out on the 27th for their flash sale. And also, don't forget, if you can't remember the instructions to win the Thunder thermal rifle scope, then I'll put those in the video's description. Best of luck, take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting. I'll see you real soon.